Yeah, man. Rest in peace to Muhammad Ali. Like, I had to come up here and make a video because this guy, he's he's obviously a cornerstone. This guy is a legend, and he revolutionized sports, and not just sports, but the civil rights movement. This guy, like, he was everything, man. He wasn't just a boxer, but he represented blacks and you know how he presented himself and things like that. He one of the most he one of the most courageable guys I ever seen. Like, he have a lot of courage that a lot of people wish they could have. Let me start with the civil rights movement. Like, he went to jail or prison because he didn't want to go to war. He didn't want to go to the war because they drafted him to fight at Vietnam and he didn't want to do it. So he went to prison. That's one thing because he felt like he's fighting for the white man, even though the white man is against him, which was true, especially in that time period. You know. Then he also spoke up about racism. You know, try to. He was with Martin Luther King, but he was an athlete though. People, people listen to Muhammad Ali. He was talking about racism. He was talking about the civil rights movement. It just he he tried to get blacks and whites together. He tried to end this racism thing back in the '60s. Now let's talk about his athletic career too. One of the toughest boxers, probably the biggest athlete legend of all time. He probably the biggest well-known athlete of all time. Period. In the discussion, no debate, no discussion. He is the most popular and by default athlete of all time. Not Michael Jordan, not Babe Ruth. Muhammad Ali. He paved the way for black athletes. Period. In any sport. Because before then it was not a lot of black boxers. There was not a lot of black boxers back in the day. It was none but white boxers. It was a lot of black boxers. I mean white boxers. And he was one of the first black boxers to become a boxer, you know. And ever since then, there became more black boxers. Um, he was he's the greatest. We call him the greatest for a reason. He was a heavyweight, but he moved like a featherweight in the ring. He was one of the fastest guys ever in the ring. Technical wise, the way he fights, everything. He's a household name, a legend. It's sad to see him die at 74 years old. It really is. It's sad. You know, he was the same age as my grandfather. So, well, before he passed away, before my grandfather passed away. But they was the same age. You know, my grandfather used to look up to him too. So I looked up to him. Everybody should know who Muhammad Ali is. One of the greatest boxers of all time. No, not one of the greatest. He is the greatest boxer of all time. He, especially with the fights with Joe Smoking Frazier, watched them fights with him and George Foreman. Greatest rivalries of all time. Like, he's a legend. Like, people do respect him, but I haven't heard people in this generation respect him enough as they should. Like, people always people always talking trash about him. Well, some people talk bad about him. Talking about Muhammad Ali he's old and decrepit and all this. And I used to get mad when people say that. He had a Parkinson's disease. We all know that. But he had it early. He was young when he got that though. When he had that Parkinson disease, he was really young back then. He was like in his. He had to be in his 30s when he got that. So when he was diagnosed with it, anyway, he was young. I mean, I just looked up to the guy, man. He paved the way for a lot of athletes, like basketball. There, ever since boxing got Muhammad Ali in there, you start seeing the NBA or the ABA start having more black athletes. Then you start seeing football start having more black athletes. And like I said, boxing, you start seeing other sports having more black athletes. He paved the way for a lot of us, you know what I'm saying, in the sports world. And for the black people to be, I mean, he tried to stop the racism too. I like Muhammad Ali, man. Just one of the best ever, man. No, I keep saying one of the best. He is the best ever. I respect him a lot. I really do. And after this, we should celebrate his funeral. I haven't seen Prince's funeral. I haven't seen his, but I want to see Muhammad Ali's because he's a legend. I mean, I heard the other day that he got sent to the hospital, but I didn't know it was this serious. Somebody said he shouldn't be in the hospital for that long, but I I see they obviously was hiding something underneath what they were saying because he was in life threatening situation. So he passed away at 74. He did live his life for the most part. But even at 74, I still believe he had more life to live. You know what I'm saying? I thought he could have lived another 10, 15 years. Then you would have really completely fully lived your life after 80 years old. At 74, I still thought it's a tiny bit more life to live for him. But he just passed away, man. So rest in peace. Um, prayers around your family and friends. And that's it, man. Muhammad Ali, the greatest. And this is going to always be the greatest. That's it.